folks. Looks like it's another day to review. And also, I think Bones should be back in about... let's see who it is. Hey, Bones.
Hi, Dark Shadow.
How was Comic-Con?
It was fun. I had a blast.
Well, that's nice. Guess you definitely did have a great time.
Yes, I had fun at New York City Comic Con. It was the best.
Well, that's good.
Really, can I ask you a question?
What?
While I was gone, did you do anything?
Well, what I did was, I was waiting for my master to see if I could do something, or probably go out watching some movies, or maybe just, have a few drinks on my own, be all by myself. I'm always lonely.
So you didn't do anything at all? Didn't get a word from your master?
Uh-huh.
Well, here's a funny story, and you're probably gonna laugh at this. When I got back home, I checked on my YouTube channel, and guess what I just saw? You reviewing a movie of demons. So you just review a movie, and I specifically told you not to do it, and you went behind my back.
It could have been anyone. It wasn't me. Alright, fine, it was me. But you know what? You didn't mention about Comic-Con. You sadistic, twisted fucker.
You know, I was gonna do a review with you, but when I saw that review and going behind my back, not cool, dude. But since I'm a good person, I'll let you slide on this one. But after when we review this one movie we'll be doing today, you're gonna have a big surprise for you.
Really? A surprise? What kind of a surprise?
Oh, don't worry. It's gonna be a big one, and you'll love it.
Well, what are we reviewing anyways?
Oh, we're gonna do it right now. Hey guys, this is P.M.R.Bonez88's. Yep, I'm back from Comic-Con, and since you heard me on the phone that I was talking to Dark Shadow, and it doesn't matter, but so today for our Halloween horror movie review that I'll be talking about today is the 1986 classic Rawhead Rex. So this British and Irish movie came out in 1986, and it was directed by George Pavlo, and it was written by Clive Barker. That we all know him, that he directed the 1987 classic Hellraiser and 1990 Nightbreed. This film was based off of the book series called Books of Blood that Clive Barker written. And when I first heard about this movie, I thought Rawhead Rex was a giant mutating dinosaur that was living underground for so many centuries and goes off on a killing spree. Which half was true. He wasn't really a mutating dinosaur. He was a monstrous pink-on god. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not too sure. So critics were very negative about this film, and they said it was very laughable and not too scary, in which Clive Barker didn't take it so pleased. But to be honest with you guys, I love this film. Rawhead Rex is scary and not too funny. Well, some scenes are funny, but it's not too scary than Hellraiser and Nightbreed. So this movie is about a group of family called the Hellraiser, and they go on a family road trip to meet their ancestors back in Ireland. And meanwhile, a digger was just messing around with a stone, in which causes the lightning struck down, and that brings Rawhead Rex to life. And during that time, the priest was staring at the art of glass of Rawhead Rex, and when he sees the death, he touches it and his hand starts to burn, but he also sees what Rawhead sees, where he's going, and then he starts to become all evil and insanity. Wow, just like that, he becomes pure evil, just like that? I thought for sure that it would take him a process, like take him a while to make him evil and becoming Rawhead Rex's servant.
If we find someone, if we kill anyone, we just kill them without even caring.
Now, you're always evil.
Hey, you're evil too.
Yeah, but in a different way.
Yeah.
So anyways, Rawhead starts killing this one person for no other reason, and then he goes after her with the pregnant lady. All of a sudden, he just stops. He doesn't even want to kill her. So does this mean he has a heart? Is it true that monsters have hearts?
Nah, I don't think he has a heart.
Well, he didn't kill the pregnant lady. He just spared her.
Monsters and demons don't have hearts.
And meanwhile, later that night, Rawhead goes to the camping where all the people were just laying back, just relaxing, watching TV in their RVs. And eventually the two couples were making out and the little boy was annoying them. I don't know which he was related to. It was either the girl or part of the boy or part of the guy right there. Could be his big brother or his big sister. I didn't know who was related. The guy took the little boy's toy and he just locked him in the RV. What an asshole. So now the two couples go into the woods and they start to try to make love until the girl hears a roar of you-know-who. So by there they were following and they see was a dead body hanging in the tree. So by there they were starting to run away until they ran into Rawhead Rex. But somehow that she was still running and she thought she was running with her boyfriend. The only thing was left was just his hand. Which that didn't make sense. How can she possibly keep holding his hand while Rex here just took his body? What, did he rip it out or something? Or she was holding it so damn tight that she couldn't let go? So the next day, the Hollaback families were going on another road trip up until the daughter had to go make a quick pit stop, use the bathroom. So both Howard and Elaine, which were played by David Dukes and Kelly Piper, to go check on her daughter to see what she was screaming about. And guess who comes in? Rexy Boy takes his son and kills him?
He may not kill pregnant ladies, but he can still kill kids.
I thought he had a heart.
I told you.
So he could just not kill a woman that is pregnant, but he could go on and just kill a kid? That is seriously messed up. And speaking of Rawhead Rex, the makeup effect and including with the monster of Rawhead, there are some parts and scenes that look very real, but most likely not too realistic. And during the daytime, that you could definitely tell he looks like a puppet. He's just wearing a mask and just running around, and the mask doesn't even do anything. It doesn't really show emotion, not too much. And during the dark time, like in the darker environment or any other place that's dark, you could really tell the shadowing that makes him look so real. And when he moves his jaw around, now you can tell that he looks real. But most of the time, he's barely moving his mouth and not even showing too much emotion. So Rawhead Rex kind of belongs to the Muppets. I'm sorry to say it, but he does look like one of the Muppet characters, except he's the Muppeteer from hell. Howard goes after the monster Rawhead and tries to find out the priest. Oh, and speaking of the evil priest, he meets up with Rawhead and at the cemetery, and what he does to the priest, he pees on him. Okay. I don't know if I should be disgusted or I should be laughing about it. And my eyes are crossed.
My favorite part was where Rawhead just went on a killing spree, killing all these people back in the camping site where they're in their RVs. Went on a spring of terror. This dude can really tear you apart. Trust me, you don't really want to mess with him. He's the ultimate badass monster.
So Howard fights off with the priest, and what he finds under the table is the stone that could destroy Rawhead Rex. So he goes after him, fights off with Rawhead, and using that stone, but eventually it doesn't work. So he fights him off just in combat mode, like fist to fist, and up until Elaine just shows up and probably does nothing, only up until she picks up the stone and she unleashes the power to stop Rawhead Rex's rampage. Okay, so it works on girls, but it doesn't work on guys. So I guess what you call it is girl power. The women always get to be the hero, not the guys.
It had to be a woman.
So the power that she used to take away all of Rawhead Rex's strength, his power, everything, just made him all weak and dug him down right to the pit of the hole of the graveyard. So Howard and Elaine go home and being all victorious. So eventually, that was Rawhead Rex. There were some mentions about that they wanted to make this movie as a sequel, or they wanted to remake this movie too. But so far, Clive Barker didn't mention anything. So right now is kind of a rumor. But Clive Barker is interested of rebooting this movie and hoping they can make Rawhead Rex more realistic, and hopefully they don't make it too much CGI. Make it more emotion, or see facial of his face. Maybe some facial expressions. So after done talking about this film, Rawhead Rex is a good horror film, and even for Clive Barker that he written it but didn't directed this film. But unfortunately, that like Chris says, that it wasn't that scary. It was probably much more comical movie. But Rawhead Rex has been showing up to like couple of graphic novels. But he was kind of different, that his face, his head was the shape of a pumpkin, and his body was like really skinny, very skeletal, and not to mention he had a, you know what? And there were some couple of crossovers in the Nightbreed comics as well. I always wonder if they could, Rawhead Rex did a crossover with Nightbreed in the comics issues, why couldn't they do a crossover of as a movie? Because we've seen certain crossover movies, but most likely it's always the Marvel movies that always get major crossovers, so they're becoming much more popular. But Rawhead Rex is a good movie, and I would definitely recommend you guys to watch it, and hopefully if I could find this movie on DVD or Blu-ray, which is so hard to find, I think it's the only best way you can find it is either on eBay or at Amazon. So just to rate this film for Rawhead Rex, I would have to give it a 8.5 out of 10, which equals an 85%, so the grade would be a solid B.
Well, I'll have to agree on Bones on this one. 8 out of 10, a solid B. Rawhead Rex is a good movie, a good horror movie to watch and enjoy. On my top 3 list, it'll be number 3, Rawhead Rex, number 2, Nightbreed, and the most best out of all the Clive Barker films, Hellraiser.
It's entertaining. It's not better than Hellraiser or Nightbreed altogether, but it's really entertaining and quite very well of seeing the monster going on a rampage killing spree and having all these violence and gore that was happening too. That's what I love so much. And thank God that MPA didn't really tell them to cut out all the sequences or the scenes back then. Maybe it was probably in theaters, but not really in the US. But it was probably either in London or in Ireland, somewhere. But it was an Irish-British movie, so I guess that's why we didn't really see it in theaters, or we don't really see it on DVD or on Blu-ray where we're at in the US. So if I ever find Rawhead Rex on Blu-ray and DVD, I'll definitely get that. And I'll definitely keep it from my Clive Barker's collection of 1987's Hellraiser and 1990's Nightbreed. And this is P.M.R.Bonez88's signing off. His saying is, peace!
Well, that was a good review. I got in trouble. So what? At least he's not gonna try throwing me out of my own base and... Huh. Hey, Bones.
Hello, Dark Shadow. You ready for your big surprise?
Oh yeah, the big surprise.
Remember I told you I ran into a friend of mine? Well, he's heading your way, and I told him the direction to your base.
Wait, why would you do that? Uh-oh. Excuse me. I believe I have someone at the door. Wonder who that is. Look. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding. Ouch.
That's what he gets. That's what he gets for not listening to me. Peace, folks.